good to see you today. I appreciate you joining me for a brief Bible study. We're in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 this week. Today we're going to be looking at verses 1 through 3. Let's get over there. Let's read it together. Verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. What I would like for us to consider in our brief few moments we have together is without love, what are we? And I think that's the point that Paul is making throughout these verses, so we'll go and get into it. Without love, we're all talk. It's all talk, it's all noise. Here, and I think that's how it starts. Without love, sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. One of the commentators, and I think it's Clark, talks about the empty wagon. That the empty wagon, as it rolls, it makes the most noise. And why does it make the most noise? It's because there's nothing to it. That's why. There's nothing to it. And it's the same way with us. Without love, what is it? It's just noise. It's just talking. If you don't really love the Lord, if you don't really love your brethren, it's just like sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's just all talk, it's all noise. But also, without love, I think what happens, Paul's point is perhaps that it just tears down. Look at the figure he uses. Verse 2, though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and knowledge, though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. That figure of removing mountains, that's the figure that I kind of keyed in on within that verse. Without love, you don't do anything but tear down mountains. Remember when John the Baptist came, and he was in the excavation business, talks about bring the mountains down and fill the valleys up. Which one's harder to do, to tear down or to build? To tear down or to edify? Well, without love, what do? You can have the gift of prophecy and you can understand everything, all the knowledge. You can have all the faith so that you can remove mountains. But if you don't have love, what is it? It's nothing. You may be able to remove mountains, you may be able to tear down, but it's love that edifies. And without love, you're not building anybody up. You can understand a lot. You could have all the faith. You may have prophecy. You may understand all these things. But without love, it's just nothing. It's just nothing. The key is, the point is that we edify one another, and that's what, without love, we don't do. Without love, usually we just tear down. That may be the point, or the point Paul may be making is, it's just nothing. It's just all about you. You're self-absorbed. You have all faith. You have all knowledge. You have all prophecy. I'm not even sure if the point is you're prophesying to others. It may just be you understand. You have faith, but love involves others, or at least it should involve others, unless you just love yourself. So it may be that point, or it may be more without love. You may just be in the tearing down business, removing mountains. What's the point? Look back at our verse. To look at that passage, without love, it's just theology. Verse 2 still. And hopefully I'm not repeating myself. Without love, what's the point? It's just theology. You have all the knowledge, you have all the understanding. But it's just theology. And there's a time for you have to know. We'll talk more about knowing towards the end of the week. We're not saying you don't have to have faith. He's going to say Now abide faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love. So it's not saying the knowledge is bad. It's not saying the prophecy is bad. The gift, earnestly desire the best gift, that's going to turn out to be prophesying. So he's not saying prophesying is bad. He's not saying prophecy is bad. Knowledge is bad. That's not what he's saying. But without love, what's the point? Is it just theology? It's just, and that's where it is without love. It's all talk. It's all noise. Maybe it's just tearing others down, removing mountains. It's not building anybody up. And what's the point? A lot of times it's just theology. Why are you doing it? I want you to look back at that passage. Verse 3. Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but I have not love, why would someone bestow all their goods to feed the poor? Why would someone give their body to be burned? Why would you do that if you don't love the person? And I think what Paul is using this illogical picture. Why would you give your body to be burned if you don't love it? If you don't love someone? If you don't love the Lord? If you don't love the gospel? If you don't love your brethren? Paul, all the things that he was doing as he had been beaten, he had been stoned, he had been, all the things that he endures that he talks about. And he's doing it for their sake, for the Lord's sake and for their sake. So he's using this illogical picture of doing these things and not loving. Why would someone do it if they didn't love the Lord and love others? So he's using this illogical picture, and he's making us answer the question, okay, why are you doing it? Why are you doing these things? Why are you assembling? Why are you giving on the first day of the week, the collection for the saints? Why are you doing these things if it's not out of love? Look back at the passage. And there's only one to look at it. Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. Why did the Pharisees give? Why did the Pharisees do charitable deeds? And they did it to be seen by men. That's why they did it. They didn't do it out of love. They did it out of selfishness and to be seen by men. Perhaps Paul's point is, you could make the greatest sacrifice, though I give my body to be burned. Sometimes people make significant sacrifices, but they don't do it out of love. They do it just to be seen by men. And that's dangerous ground. Why are you doing it? If it's not out of love, then it's nothing. Throughout each one of these, it's all talk. It's all talk. It's just theology. Are you just tearing others down, or are you trying to build people up? Why are you doing it? Is it just so people can see you? Hope the study's been beneficial for you as we are thinking about love and how love is so foundational. It is foundational to what it means to be a Christian. Hope the study's helped you out. Hope you have a good day. Appreciate you studying along with us, and we hope to see you tomorrow.